Welcome to the Pop Art Hunter channel, and today we're going to be unboxing a big, a large, a huge, a ginormous box. We're going to split it over the course of a couple videos so that you can, either prolong the inevitable or save the flavor, however you want to look at it. All right, one more piece left. I'm not going to say I saved the best for last because all the pieces are pretty cool, but I'm really excited about this one. I'm really happy. I'm really excited to have not only seen this and was alerted to the fact that it was going up for sale, but to actually be able to purchase it for a price that I deemed reasonable, and to have it now in my hands, I think is pretty cool. This particular package actually has a couple of different items, and I'll kind of explain the differences between those as we're opening it here. One thing you might notice right away is that this piece is a little bit longer than the other packages we opened. Not as large as the big ducky Keymaster background that we opened, but definitely has a little bit more heft to it. Oh, that should be good right there. I prefer not to use the knife if at all possible, and they usually make it pretty easy. I just get a little excited and a little knife happy sometimes. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Okay. So this is one that I have some question marks about. I'm not exactly sure of I'm sure of the authenticity of it being used in the production of Charlotte's Web. I am unsure about the particular area of the film, and I was actually bidding on another item from Charlotte's Web, and this came up, and it was the last minute, and I've talked about this in other videos about how you want to make sure you're not just getting things really quickly at the last minute, but it was going for a price that I thought was reasonable. I was unsure of the specifics of the parts of the film, but I do trust the auction company, and this was part of an auction that included other pieces of this nature. I would say that, just from the fact of what this piece is and how it's presented, what it looks like, the consistency with other pieces from the film, I have no question to its authenticity. I'm going to go ahead and kind of show a pan of the whole thing here. So it's the Arable Farm. This is the barnyard where you see Wilbur and Templeton and the other characters. And I mean, it's a beautiful background. It says it's part of song B, and I believe that was one of the songs where Wilbur's talking about how we can talk. I think it's called I Can Talk, and it's supposedly from that song. Now, on my just very quick look at that particular song, I was unable to match up any particular background moment from that particular song with this particular background. And you can tell that it's the same farm. They have the same elements. They have the red barrel, the pipe, the fencing, the wagon in the back. And you can see those elements in the film. But if you look at them, like the barrel as an example, you'll notice that it's not the same barrel in the other scenes. So they might have had another production background. So I'm not sure if this was done as a sort of a concept art to show what the farm looked like, and then to plot out to say, okay, we're going to have the goose over here, and we're going to have Wilbur run across here, and to use it in that fashion. If it was from maybe a deleted scene that was never actually put on film, or if I just haven't found this moment in the film yet, because there are multiple times that you see this barnyard, because that's where a lot of the movie takes place. And so I don't know specifically with this one. I think it's really cool, and I think that the size of it is really neat. It's a panoramic shot we have here. It is about 37 inches by about 10.5, and so just really cool. And even as you're looking, you'll find the 12 field cells and the 16 field cells, and you'll see the holes at the top and the little markers and such. And, to see that along this whole width is pretty cool to see how they would have set this up, and just kind of imagine how they would have been moving these different pegs or kind of adjusting things for the actual filming production. So now I'm going to have to undo this here, but I didn't want to spoil the surprise, which is what I was really waiting for. I think that other piece is cool, and I was happy to get it, but I was also more thrilled to get this piece. this is cool. This is I'm just ecstatic about this piece. So this is another scene from Charlotte's Web. So I'm going to be careful with this, and then also try to get this out. There we go. So let me just go ahead and put this down. So I can give you another close-up shot of this one, out in the open. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And the details, it's a really, really cool piece. I think the art, the artistry that goes into developing these particular pieces is just incredible. And then the amount of times they had to work on these and do it in repetition and over, and then adjust. I mean, if you want something different, if you want different shadows or highlights, or, this is in the moonlight setting, which is going to look different from the daytime, there was so much work involved with it. So I think this one is really cool. But the reason I'm excited about this one so much is because this is a Keymaster setup. So this is actually one that was used as you'll see it on film, with the original background. So I'm just going to be careful here. I'm just going to see what the state of these are. I'm wearing the gloves just because of the cells. So I'm hoping, that's very nice. I'm hoping that these aren't stuck to the back of this background. And so I'm just being very careful to lift them up and make sure that they're not stuck. So that's great news. And I know that I believe that they have a small piece of tape here at the top that I will remove. But my plan is to actually frame this with a larger border and then actually separate out these cells so that they're not touching each other or the background. There's a little bit of wear on the cell. You have to think. I mean, this was an original production used Keymaster background, and so like in the corner here you can see that there's a little bit of wear on the side, a wears on the corner, a little bit of a bend there, but I think once this is framed up, I think once I get it into a situation where it's stable, it's going to be preserved really well and it's going to not deteriorate any further. So this has 3 separate cells, one of Templeton jumping, 2 some kind of bubbling and brewing here of the water, and I'll try to show you these separately here as well. And then also the corn husk, and this, it looked like maybe shifted slightly during chipping, and so this is actually I believe in the background here, and he's actually running on top of the corn. So this is how it would have been set up here, and he would have been running across the corn, kind of like a log, kind of like a log roller, and that would have been moving across. And they use this particular background actually in multiple scenes, and so that's really cool too. So you can actually go through the film and see exactly where this was located, and as he's running across, they would progress it forward, so he would be in a different position. But then later on, he's I'm not sure what fruit or vegetable it is, but it's a hollow out watermelon or grapefruit or something. And he's like riding it across this way, and then he comes on the corn this way, and it kind of goes back and forth. Just an incredible piece. I'm really happy with it. You can tell this one's a little bit shorter than this longer one, and again, I'm just not sure about the other one as far as what the actual production use of it and where they might have used it at. It's longer, and you can see on this one it is full to the edges that they painted. Here they just painted it up until the point they needed to, and so yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited. I'm happy. I hope that this will be something that will frame nicely and look really good in my setup. And this one, the subject matter, some people, whether Templeton's your favorite character or not. I know Charlotte's Web is kind of a classic. It opened and it wasn't, seen as the best possible film, or it wasn't, as critically acclaimed at the very beginning, and then became sort of a cult classic. And as it gained popularity, each of the characters have a certain, place in people's hearts, and Templeton was mine. I love Templeton. He was the comic relief character. Paul Lynde has such a cool voice, and this scene, some people might look at it and say, well, it's a trough full of moldy, nasty food, and I just think that's cool. I think it's a really cool setting. I mean, it's not something you see very often. The only other ones like this I've seen I've been interested in is when Templeton's at the carnival and they have these longer shots that they use. But I just think this is disgusting. It also fits in the barnyard. You know, there would have been a trough. I think it was sort of located in this area over on this side where this would have occurred, and they would have kind of set that scene. So really cool piece. I love it. I've been waiting for a piece like this for so long. There's some pieces when you look at you're tempted to purchase it. You're like, I can maybe buy this. This can maybe go in my collection. This is from a movie I like or something like this. When I saw this piece, I had to. One, I love Templeton. He's a great character, voiced by the great Paul Lynde. You know, I mean, you can't get any better than that. I mean, he's just got such a way about him. I mean, you can't beat Paul Lynde. And Templeton's really great, and I love the fact that this is a panoramic. It's such a large piece. And to see this exact setup in the movie, having a Keymaster background, again, is really awesome. And I don't have a lot of those pieces in my collection, and so I want to keep building upon that because you increase your collection as you go along. You start out with items that are less expensive and, you know, meet your needs. They have a little damage, they have this, and then you kind of move up. And so this is the next stage of that collection for me, is getting some of those Keymaster pieces. And so this is neat. You know, I love Templeton. I love Charlotte's Web, and I think the subject matter is pretty cool. It's disgusting, it's gross, and I like the trough. You know, and maybe that's why I was able to get this, because maybe that's not a appealing subject matter for other people, but it's perfect for me. And so this is where, if it goes to resale value, I think I've got something for the fact that it's a Keymaster setup. But if it's just something that I'm investing in myself to enjoy something, I'm going to have this in my home for years. I'm going to look at it for years. I'm going to enjoy it for years. So if I lose some money on it, I break even, I've invested just enough in myself and my enjoyment to make it all worthwhile. And then the Arable Farm piece, however you want to pronounce her name, that's, you know, even a bigger panoramic. And I'm not exactly sure. I still have to look into that more specifically to see if that's an actual piece that was production used in the filming, or if that was a concept piece, or if it's, you know, it says it's part of that song at the beginning, but I wasn't able to find just yet the exact piece and time that it was at. So I'm going to have to look into that further. I have no worries of the credibility of the piece that was used in the production proper, in the process of actually making the film, but whether it was screen used, I'm not sure yet. So that's something to research and look into, and it gives me something to do because I'm bored. All I do is sit around making videos all day. So anyway, thanks for watching Pop Art Hunter. We hope you enjoyed this video and these pieces. This is part of, again, a larger series of unboxings of a large box I got with multiple boxes inside of it. So if you like this video, there's some other pieces, and hopefully from some movies you like, and in the same vein of the things that you enjoy seeing on this channel as far as animation cell art. We have lots of different videos that's going to be coming out with different types of cells and different concept arts and different productions, and not just animation art. We have a lot of other things too. But thanks for watching Pop Art Hunter, and we will see you next time.